Ready?
Hi, everyone. We're just about to get started, so we can stay on track. So I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Neal. With a dynamic background spanning tech product strategy, motivational speaking, and positive leadership, Neeley brings a unique blend of expertise to the stage. Her extensive experience includes over 12 years at GoDaddy, where she served in various roles, including Director of Online Sales and Marketing, and her current role, Senior Product Manager of UX Platform Services, enabling GoDaddy global brands. Beyond her corporate achievements, Neeley's passion for positive leadership and team building shines through in her role as a motivational speaker and host of the Up with Neal podcast. She holds an MBA in strategic marketing and sports business from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, as well as a bachelor's degree in economics from Texas Christian University. Please join me in welcoming Neal.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Gang, you didn't know, but you walked into the energy generating session, okay? So I'm gonna need you to put your hands together. Let's get it going. Sometimes it helps to put them up high. Yeah? A little faster. Here we go. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. And give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. So courageous. All right. So courageous. Max. Yes. Yes. Welcome, everybody. All right. So, as you may have been able to tell from my bio, I have a lot of energy. I expect a lot of energy. And so now's your chance to escape if you're like not ready for this, right? I know it's the last session, but when I coach my teams, and certainly in all my years of cheer and dance, at the end of a long day, when the team's been going full out, they've been giving a lot of themselves, a lot of energy. We have a saying called last one, best one. All right. So if you're ready for last one, best one, say yes, ma'am. Yes. Oh, I love Texas. Say it again. Yes. All right. So this is really up to you. All right. I'm not here to do all the work. I'm going to invite you right on in to do the work with me. Okay. So I'm Neal. Today's session, yes, is called Return of the Trust Fall. All right. We're doing a little Jedi training here today. So I want to, invite you to come with me and do a little overcoming fear and uncertainty in real time. Okay, that's our mission today. So I'm going to grab my little clicker, and I'm going to tell you that darkness is an invitation to be great. All right, now is the time to get into action toward your greatness. Now is the time to inspire greatness in your teams, in your leadership, in your organizations, and I'll contend in your life as well. There has never been a time like this. There has never been an opportunity like this where there is so much potential to catalyze change into growth and opportunity, competitive advantage, as right now. All right? I believe we're all here at a time such as this. You're here in the conference, having these discussions, having these conversations, elevating for such a time as this. So, can I count on you to get into action with me toward your greatness today? Give me a yes, ma'am. Thank you. I knew this was a great audience. I knew I was stepping into good stuff. Max always pulls the good folks together, I'm telling you. All right, the whole team. Can we give it up one more time for Agile Austin? You guys, they work so hard. Yeah, they've been a pleasure to work with all the way up. I knew this event was going to rock, and it certainly has delivered. So welcome, everybody. Well, oh, it's my buddy. Hi. Remember me? Yes. All right. All right, now I want to, let's talk a little bit about these dark forces, right? We're already familiar with the problem. You already know about the volatility, the uncertainty, the complexity, the ambiguity. VUCA isn't just a military operation anymore. This is life, all right? This is how we categorize life from here on forward. No one is immune to the change. So we have to get good at dealing with change, and not just good. I contend that the opportunity is to be great at dealing with change. Are you with me? Yes, ma'am. I like that. Yes. All right. How you choose to respond to the dark forces changes everything. How you choose to respond changes everything. And today we're going to respond in action, right? Because the problem is compounded. We're all carrying a mental load, which is increasing. VUCA layered on top of it, all the external forces that are coming in, dynamically shifting. It's like sending shock waves, right under your feet. And our human operating systems aren't quite ready for that upgrade. Are you with me? It feels like the human operating systems are running hot. And what happens when the system runs hot for too long? Yeah. Yeah. So we don't want any heads to explode. We want to be able to not only equip ourselves, but our teams and our organizations to better deal with change. Okay? So what we're talking about is a leveling up, right? Our old frameworks don't work anymore, so we have to elevate the new frameworks. We have to let it emerge together. So I'm Neal. Thank you for the introduction. I am a former NFL cheerleader. I am an agile leader in tech for the past 17 years. It's been a career. I'm also a wife and mom of 4, including triplets. And so that's why I added Jedi certified to my title, because I feel like it was an uncommon route to being Jedi Mindset certified. But certainly my kiddos have allowed me to evolve and grow in ways that I think only kids can. And certainly the prospect of being a mother of multiples was a challenge that I wasn't quite ready for, to be honest with you. I don't know, is anyone ever ready to be a parent? I don't know, I don't think anyone ever is. But when I got the news that I was very pregnant, that was the term that they said, well, you're very pregnant. I was like, I thought it was kind of binary, like on or off, yes or no. I didn't know there was a very category, but I learned that there is. And I wasn't going to share this today, but I think we have time for it. And I think that you're kind of prepped to hear this. The reason I became so passionate about the power of mindset is that when I was faced with this challenge, I didn't have any way out of it, right? Like, they're like, congratulations. And I'm like, oh, okay. They started layering on a lot of fear, okay? And it wasn't out of malicious tactics or anything. They were just trying to educate me. They're like, so here's how it works. You have a geriatric pregnancy, which is a lovely medical term, by the way. AMA is a nicer way to say it. Advanced maternal age. Yeah, okay, I'll take that one. But they said that comes with a few risks, okay? And oh, by the way, yeah, you're very pregnant, and it's a high order multiples, which also comes with risk. And they said, ma'am, there's a high likelihood that you will be on bed rest the majority of your pregnancy. And we see complications. It's just a statistic. It's part of the challenge. And so I took a big gulp and I took a deep breath. Like, all right. So the pregnancy alone is going to be a challenge, is what you're telling me. And then they arrive. And so it was at that moment that I started sitting with that, and the worry and the rumination and the emotional strain of that pressure started to weigh very heavy on me. And I could feel myself going into those extreme use cases, right? Those extreme scenarios. I got into help, support groups with other moms of multiples and even triplet moms cohorts. And everyone's asking, okay, what kind of minivan are you going to buy? How do you fit all these car seats into one vehicle? That was the first thing my husband did, was Google which minivans can have 4 car seats. And pretty soon in those groups, the statistics started showing up. And it wasn't just about what protein are you eating, what supplements are you taking, what protocol, what are you doing? It was like, guys, I got some bad news today, and I have to go and have a serious conversation. And we would all be there for them and support, and then your mind starts going again, what if? And it was at that point in time that I realized I had to close the laptop, step away from the keyboard, step away, and I had to sit with my team, right? I had to just be with my team. And I had to ask my team, what do you guys need? All right, we're in this together. We're gonna go and take this as far as we can, but I'm gonna start being and delivering what I think you need, which is positive energy, which is a positive outcome, a positive outlook, a North Star that doesn't include tragedy or worry or rumination or stress. It includes a positive future. And we're gonna get across this finish line, and then who knows what happens after that, but like we're gonna make it. All right, and so I started having these conversations with my little team, my little set of womb mates in there. And I'm happy to tell you that that shift in mindset, it not only got me all the way to 35 weeks with triplets, they came out breathing on their own. They did have short NICU stay, but it was just what they call feeders and growers, right? And I can't tell you, just as my energy was dwindling down, what little I had left, I spent feeding them positive energy. And it was all because of how I chose to respond to that challenge. And it's not like I had this epiphany. It's not like I went to a seminar and someone told me how to choose to respond. I just decided. And so I want you to think about a challenge that you've been faced with in your life, something you couldn't get out of, right? There was no backing down. I know a lot of folks in our industry are facing a challenge right now. They didn't ask to be part of a workforce reduction. They didn't ask for having to go off and make accommodations for an elderly parent. They didn't ask for triplets, but it's a challenge, and I'm sure you've had one, that you just couldn't back out of. And the only way to address it was to move forward and grow through it. You have to just take one step at a time, and you grow through it. And so I wanted to share that with you today, not, well, because it is a personal victory of mine, but I also valued so much how much I grew in that short period of time and in the 5 years since. Okay, so I couldn't pick with just one picture, so you ended up with a smattering of pictures. So those are my boys when they were gosh, I think 7 or 8 months old, and then this is them now. They're 5 years old, and big sister is 8 years old. And in those 5 years, I mean, just transformational growth for me personally. And at every new bend, there's a new challenge, there's a new learning, there's a new upgrade that has to happen. And I have taken that personal growth and been able to dovetail it into a professional set of growth and mindset and way of showing up at work, which has allowed me to choose to respond in action and also not get too hung up on the prescribed path, right? Because none of us have ever seen this landscape before. None of us have seen these challenges before. So we have to let go of the prescripted path and lean into just the vision and the growth to grow through it. And the only way you can do that is in action. So I want to talk now about vertical learning versus horizontal learning. Because today, we're actually going to do a bit of vertical development all together, because y'all promised me you're ready for action, right? Yes, ma'am? Good, okay. Growth doesn't happen in a vacuum. You can't read a book and then grow. You can't go to your webinar and just grow. It has to happen as a holistic journey, as part of being in action, as part of finding your personal edges. And that's the funny thing about mindset, is you can't grow your mindset by just thinking about it, right? Mindset, like Bob said earlier, it's so much more. It's multifaceted, it's multi-layered, and it's visceral. Your mind is connected to all the other things, right? Your mind can feed positive energy, can feed growth and fuel growth. And it's not just thinking about it. You have to respond in action. And so the ways that we grow vertically involve action, and it involves your interaction in relationships. All right? You cannot transform your life, you cannot transform your organization, your teams, without transforming your relationships. So we are going to work on action and relationships today, okay? So, Rebel leaders, if you're with me, we're going to lean into individuals and interactions over tools and process. And we are also going to lean into responding to change in a very rapid fashion. Yes? And don't worry, those that are online, you're involved too, okay? You're not off the hook, and you're going to be taking some action right along with us. Okay, you good? Yes, ma'am? All right, let's go. All right, I want you to picture the scene with young Rey, right? She's in her training, her Jedi training. She's levitating. She's got all the boulders, spinning all around her every which way. And what's she doing? She is one with the Force. She is full out. There's no fear. There's no hesitation. She's in the moment. She's full out in the moment. And in that scene, someone calls her name. She gets distracted. Her attention moves over to the distraction. And what happens to the boulders? Yeah, they crash on the ground, right? So today, we're going to give our full attention, our full focus. We're going to go full out so that no boulders crash on the ground. Is that cool? Yes, all right. Now, we're also going to lean into trust, okay? And trust, I think, is going to emerge as a part of this. So you all signed up and walked in on a session about a trust fall. So let's talk about what the trust fall feels like, all right? I have to imagine that for a lot of us, this was our first trust fall, right? Like when my husband throws my kids way too high and I'm like, not so high. And they're loving every minute. There's not a second of hesitation. They're not worried about if, my crazy cousin's going to catch me. They're just living in that moment, right? So I know that we've felt this. You've felt it. And I want to tell you for a second about my first week at GoDaddy. It looked like that, actually. This was before they had Slack. Was anybody around in the Microsoft Office communicator days? Like before Slack, we were mocking each other. It was mock. And so we went from mocking to slacking. And so here we are. But I remember sitting in my cubicle back in the day, and I get this mock from someone named Jim that says, hey, need you to sign this. Bing, sends a link. And I'm like, that sounds like a phishing scam, but okay, I'll go along. I'm your Huckleberry. What is this? And I open it up, and they're like, I need you to sign this. It's a liability and release form. And I'm like, what? I thought I signed all my paperwork at HR and it didn't even involve like bodily harm. What am I signing here? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're doing a team building thing next week and today's the last day. I need it back by end of day. We're going trapezing. I'm like, what? I thought I worked at a tech company. You want me to jump off a 25-foot platform? But yes, I sure did. I showed up that day, hadn't met half of the people there. And next thing you know, I was jumping into somebody's arms, off of a 25-foot platform and being caught. And you talk about building trust in a hurry. That was it. That was my introduction to GoDaddy. And that's been almost 13 years ago now. And so I love trust falls. This may be the trust fall that you recall. Maybe you were at a summer camp. Maybe you were at a team bonding event. A lot of times it involves like plummeting off of a platform. And I promise today we're not going to do anything as daring as this. But as Yoda said, there is do or do not. There is no try. So today I need you to do or do not. I mean, you still have that option. But there is no try, okay? There's no hesitation. There's no, I want you to feel the feels, right? We're going to feel back into our life again. We're going to engage our bodies so that we engage the mindset growth. But I don't want you to be halfway in and halfway out. Does that make sense? Full out? Yes, ma'am? Cool. Okay. Woohoo. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this. Okay. So what we're going to do is an interactive activity. So everyone in the room is going to form a new team. But before we do that, we are going to go through a safety certification, if you will, a demonstration, right? A little safety training. And so for those of you online, I want you to join in with us. This first portion is going to involve everyone getting up out of their seat. You can go ahead and stand. If you're watching at home on Zoom, go ahead and push back from your desk. Give your legs a stretch. All right. And the first thing we're going to do is just roll your shoulders back. They've probably been forward a little too much. We're going to roll them back. Yes. Yes. And now we're going to take our head side to side. It's like you're touching your ear to your shoulder. Ear to your shoulder. I know, it feels good. Feels good to get your body moving. Now look up and down, down, up. Nice and slow. Don't want to make anyone dizzy. Yes. Good. Okay, now for the back. We're going to arch it forward and back. Oh, yeah. Open it up. Crunch it in. Yes. Yes. Good. All right, and for extra fun, you can start to just bounce and bounce. Yes, get the blood moving. Arms start to go. The arms go crazy. They do whatever they want. Yes, bouncing. Good. Are you guys bouncing at home? Are you doing this on Zoom? You better. We're going to check in on you. You better have your cameras on. I want to see the bouncing. Yes, all the cameras are going boom, boom, boom. No, I love it. Okay, thanks for being great sports. Now, don't sit down. Yo, the work has just begun. So we're going to do a little safety training because we are going to break up into teams of 3. Before we do that, we are going to learn how to be safe. So right now, I want you to find a spot. You know, you don't want to be holding onto a chair. You maybe want to just find a little bit of space in your row. You're going to pick your favorite foot. And if you're not sure which one's your favorite foot, just start to fall forward, and whichever one comes out, that's your favorite foot. All right, so you're going to get into a nice, comfortable little favorite foot forward position, and you're just going to bend your knees. All right, feel the blood start pumping in the legs. Yeah, we got these muscles. We're going to use them. Okay, and now I want you to stick your arms straight out, fingers together. Yes, good, fingers together. And now I want you to lean forward, like you're reaching forward. And then when you come back, I want you to squat and bring it in. Forward, back in. Yes, it's like we're using the force right now. I feel it. You know, you're sending me your energy forward. I love this. Okay, if you're at home, you better be doing this, yeah? Because I know you're gonna wanna try it with your family when you get home. Okay, good, excellent. Give yourself a round of applause. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to number off. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 all around the room. And as we're doing that, folks at home, I want you to find your favorite emoji or your favorite GIF. Drop it in the Slack channel of what conjures up emotionally when you think about doing a trust fall, okay? Just find the emoji or the GIF that represents that. And we're going to go around the room. Maybe you can start us off, all right? Can you give me a 1? Say number 1. Yeah? Are you in or out? In or out? Okay, 1. Yes, thank you. Yes. All right, so we're gonna have a couple groups of 4. All right, that's all right. Okay, so while we are getting into groups of 3, actually, before you do that, should we get a demonstration? Esteban, come on up into the stage. Let's give Esteban a hand. He didn't know he was coming up. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna explain to you your 1, 2, 3 parts. Now don't sit down, okay? Let's keep the blood flowing, all right? So what's gonna happen, hi, nice to meet you. All right, Esteban's a good sport. He didn't know he was coming up on stage today. But we're gonna demonstrate for you a little bit of safety. We're gonna get in groups of 3, and each person's gonna play a part. You're either a 1 or 2 or a 3. The first one person's going to be, we'll call them, I don't know, what do you want to call them? The falling sounds so terrible. Okay, you're going to be the leader, okay? The leader's in charge of the group. So the leader is going to put their arms in a T. Everyone give me a T. So hit a T, not your friend. Yes, good, excellent. That's all you have to do when you're the leader, okay? And so he's going to be the leader. I want you to face sideways so they can see us. There you go. And he's already got his feet kind of comfortably apart, right? And so what's going to happen, you can put your arms down for a minute, is that I'm going to be his catcher, all right? And I'm going to start with my favorite foot forward. My arms are outstretched. I'm not very far away from him, right? I'm just maybe like, if I lean forward, I could touch his shoulders. But I'm just not leaning forward. Do you see that? This is the distance. All right, so all that's going to happen, he's not going to go halfway. He's going to do it all the way, okay? Which means he's not going to sit down and freak out. That looks like a freak out. He's also not going to throw his head back and try to do a gainer into the pool, okay? You're not throwing your head back. You're not sitting down. You're just nice and slow going to lean your body, and I will catch you. But before you do, there is a little call and response. So let's practice together. So he's the leader, and he's going to say, ready?
Ready?
And I will say, ready. And you're going to say falling, and I'll say fall on. That's your signal that everyone is good to go and everyone's going full out. All right? Yes? You trust me? He's like, I don't know. Okay. All right, hit a T, team lead. You're on. Ready. Fall on. All I'm going to do is bend. Oh, you gave up on me. Okay, try one more time. All right, did you see? He was halfway. He was doing it halfway. All right, let's try again. Ready. Fall on. Yes, that was so much better. Let's give us a round of applause. Thank you. You can sit down. Thank you. All right, so I hope you saw. All we did was outstretch those arms. You're going to catch them on their shoulder blades because the most important part of their body is their upper back and their head, all right? We're going to keep the head and neck safe, okay? Now, I didn't tell you about the third person. You do have an active role. You're just going to stand on the side, okay? So as the activity is happening, you're standing on the side just in case someone has a freak out moment. You're there to stick your arms in and protect the head and body. Make sense? Yes? Last challenge I have for you is to find a group of 3, a 1, a 2, and a 3 that you don't know. All right, so go ahead and find a group of 3, and then I want you to stand in the aisles when you have found them. Yep, find a spot in the aisle. And once you've found your team, you guys can just raise your hand and tell me you're ready. There will be a couple teams of 4, and that's okay. All right, if the aisle is feeling crowded, you can come down front. And once you've found your team and your space, just go ahead and raise your hand so I can see that you're ready. Yeah, thank you. All right, when you've found your team, find a little space and then raise your hand to let me know that you've found your team and your space. Yes, yeah. All right, and for our virtual friends, this is the time where our virtual attendees get to be the observers. I want you to see the interactions in the room. I want you to be jotting down some takeaways of what you're seeing happening and play out in real time. So that's what our virtual attendees are going to be doing. And then at the end, when we get back together, they're going to debrief and give us some of the takeaways and insights that they saw from the interactions in the room. All right, did we find teams? I know it got a little hairy because we need a couple groups of 4, right? Is there anyone without a team? If so, just come right on down here. I got a team for you. Yeah, you're not going to be, you know. Okay, all right. Oh, you're missing somebody. Oh, okay, well, you don't need a 1-1, but you need a someone. How about that? Can we, can we have a someone with their group? Is that all right? Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry. I thought there was someone without a team. And if not, then you two can break apart and go join a team. Cool, cool? Yes. All right. Very good. All right. I think we have enough room. I think what's great about this space, I'll tell you, is there's a little bit of cheat space, and I'll tell you why. What we're going to do is who's the number 1s in your group? And if you're a group without a number 1, then someone just gets to be the number 1. All right. So number 1s, you're going to do what Esteban did, and you're going to be the team leader first. Okay. All right. So if you're the team leader, I want you to stand directly in front of your catcher, okay? So team leader, you're hitting a T. Number 2 is going to be the catcher. And number 3 is going to stand to the side, yeah? All right, now we're going to do this first one all together, all right? We're going to do this first one all together, and then I'll unleash you with your teams. And so if you're a 1, let me see your T. I'm going to give you a little secret. If you're on the aisles, your number 1s are going to want to face me. Yeah. Because this space has an angle, and so you actually want to fall up the hill instead of fall down the hill. Yeah, okay, that'll be like level 201 is when we fall down the hill right now. All right, cool. So we got our ones. Now, do you remember the call and response? Our leaders are going to say falling, and our catcher says, I'm sorry, that's on me. You first say ready, and they say, and then you say falling, and they say fall on. Yes. Okay, let's try that all together. All right, leaders. And falling, hold on. Yes. And then you actually have to fall. Very good. Okay. I'm going to unleash you. If the ones need to do it again, do it again. If that was pretty good, you can move on and have number 2 step up and be the leader. Ready? Begin. All right, it looks like a lot of our teams are wrapping up. If you're done, go ahead and raise your hand. If you got one more, feel free to keep going. Looks like most teams are done. Yes? All right, now take that right arm, take it up, take it, and pat yourself on the back. Good job. Okay, you can find your seats. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and I can't wait to see what our virtual attendees saw from the bird's eye view. Maybe you saw a little bit of what I was seeing. I would love to have you drop those into the Slack channel. And I want to debrief a little bit. How was that? Yeah? Good? Did it get your blood pumping? All right, let's debrief a little bit. What was kind of the first thought before you even stood up when you saw those pictures on the of people doing trust falls? What was an emotion or a feeling that you had? What was your first reaction? Yes. Oh God. What else? Oh, she's serious. Yes. When it comes to anything moving your body and taking chances, I am serious. Anyone else? What else did you think when you saw the pictures up there? Those were the 2 most common feelings. Like, oh God, what did I do? And oh, I'm really going to have to do this. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I found out I was going to have triplets. Like, whoa, okay. And so how was it after your first trust fall? Give me some emotions. What was the feeling after you did your time going full out? Yes? It wasn't bad, right? Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yes, I love that reaction. Anyone else? Not as fun as when dad's like jettison you. Yeah, like, come on. Yeah, we'll get some trampolines next time. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Now, I want to ask you, did you feel your blood pumping a little bit more? Did you feel your heart rate increase just a little bit? Yeah. Did you feel like, oh, I got sweaty arms and someone's going to have to catch me? Is it just me? That happens all the time. The trust falls. I'm like, oh boy, sorry about that. Here we go. Yes. Well, I happened to notice too that as we went along, by the time we got to second and third, there were a few more smiles happening. Yeah, there was a little more connection happening. Like, all right, I got you. Yes, you did get me. Thank you. Yeah, did you feel that? Cool. I want to debrief now. There actually are, so there's 4 C's of trust. And so what we just did was go through the activity of building trust in real time, right? And see, I have to give credit where credit's due, although the credit is kind of hard to read. John Gordon, I'm pulling from his Power of Positive Leadership, Power of Positive Teams. He talks in depth about the 4 C's of trust. And so we'll highlight them today. One of the keys to building trust in a team is communication. How well were you communicating? How well were you focused? Were you distracted, or were you all in, full out, focused in the moment? Okay. The force doesn't respond to anything less than your full out attention and your full out energy, right? So in order to grow through these challenges and utilize our Jedi mindset force, we have to be all in the moment. It doesn't respond to anything less. And certainly when teams are counting on you, communication is a way for us to be sure that you got me. Yes, I got you. I'm falling. Okay, fall on. All right. And where there is a lack of communication in your teams, sometimes we see this with newly formed teams, they come in with assumptions. They come in with stories that may or may not be true. And where there's a lack of communication, negativity will fill the gap. All right. So if you are starting from a baseline of like, yeah, I got assigned a new team, or we're still storming, forming, norming, start with communication, right? Do not let the gaps get filled with negativity. Communicate. All right. So that's the first C. The next one is connection. All right. How well were you vibing, right? Like connection is like an energetic exchange. And I'd say there was a lot of energetic exchanges. I saw people applauding for each other, right? High-fiving each other after that first successful fall. You're like, that wasn't so bad. Thank you. You know, it makes you want to high-five and connect with your team, right? And so it's so important to keep that connection strong. Commitment is the third C, right? And that is really all about showing up. All right, are you showing that you're committed? Are you checking your watch or your phone or distracted when you're supposed to be catching somebody? You know, on your teams, are you showing up distracted by the Slack messages? Maybe someone's mocking you on the side. Or are you showing up with your full and focused attention, right? Commitment is how you show up. It's not just the words you speak. Yeah, I'm going to be here for you. It's how you show up, right? I love that word, up, show up. All right, and the last C is care. All right, you have to show the team that you care. And this, I think, is the piece that develops over time. But also as leaders, we have to think about how we're showing that we care, right? You always hear the stories of the CEOs that walk through the sales floor and knew people by name. Okay, that was a way that they showed they cared. All right, you have to deliberately cultivate care amongst your teams. And it doesn't have to come from the CEO top down. Okay, that was part of the discussion, I think, earlier with Tanya and Lynn was like, look, anybody at the table can be a leader. And so you can be deliberate about how you're showing your team that you care. All right, so 4 C's of trust, I'd say you guys knocked it out of the park, right? Like this was a good, get your blood pumping, visceral, vertical development kind of challenge, right? A little bit of pressure, not much, but a little bit. And how did you approach it? How did you respond? Did you go full out? I'd say we did pretty darn good. And so in summary, I want to say greatness awaits you. It awaits your team, but it has to be deliberate. Growth doesn't happen alone in a silo. You don't go off to a 4-day retreat and come back and you're transformed. Growth happens as it evolves in your action and in your relationships, okay? And last but not least, I think that trust really is the key because none of us are on this journey alone. And so you want to fuel that journey with trust. You want to bring people along with you. And those 4 C's will help you do that in real time, in real interactions with your people, with your teams, and in your organizations, and even with your little people. Okay, foster trust. And now I want you to turn to your friend and in your best Yoda voice, tell them, always in motion is the future. All right. Yes. Did you know he said that line in 2 different movies? So you know he meant it. Yes. All right. Thank you, gang. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I think we have time for questions from our virtual attendees or questions in the room. Happy to offer you anything in here. It's yours to have. John Gordon. Oh yeah, he's got like 28 books, but I recommend Energy Bus, Foundational Energy Bus. You're the driver of your energy bus, so make sure it's a positive one. And he's also an author of Power of Positive Leadership and Power of a Positive Team.
And to clarify, the question was, who was the author of the 4 C's?
Yes. No other questions. I wore them out. That was the goal. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, great question. So distributed teams, I think, are becoming more and more common, right? And it's a reality. We have to literally break through that third wall of a screen to be able to connect and build trust amongst our teams. So the question is, how do we kind of recreate that trust fall in real time with distributed teams that might be in different time zones, you know, all across? And it is a challenge. I will say I don't know that anyone has the answer, although there are, again, deliberate actions. There has to be, in my opinion, you have to keep the human-powered productivity inspired within your team, right? We can't lean so much into tools and processes that make us more efficient and work remotely without pouring into the human and human-powered. And so I think it becomes a matter of, and whether it's funded by the company or not, the fun funds, sometimes I like to call them mandatory fun, because at first you have to like schedule the fun, but then it actually becomes fun, right? Has anyone experienced this? Yeah, where you're like, oh, I got to go to this chocolate tasting thing, but then the chocolate shows up at your doorstep, and you're like, whoa, they sent me like 6 whole bars. I thought I was going to get a morsel. And then you go online and you're like talking to your team while you're all tasting this chocolate all around the world. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting that coffee flavor note. Oh, I am not a coffee person. And like, it becomes more organic, but you have to deliberately take time to not be so damn productive all the time. Does that make sense? Yeah, I love that question. And if you find something that works for you, I'd love to know. Yeah, keep talking, no one explodes. I like that. Yeah, that's a good game. Good suggestion, I like that. I'll have to look it up. Ooh, crowdparty.app. Ooh, crowdparty.app. They even have enterprise corporate accounts, so you can get that fun fund put to work. Okay, yeah, not sponsored advertisement, just a legit tool. I like that. Let's accelerate some good vibes. Crowdparty.app. Good domain name. Hope it's a GoDaddy one. Other questions? Y'all, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to see you at the panel and at the happy hour. All right, air fives to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeley.
Thank you.